Hi, it's Amelie. Today we're going to do a just practicing and we're going to do two excerpts from Bach. So the first one will be Aus Liebe will mein Heiland sterben from St.Mathews Passion. And the second will be Domine Deus from the Mass in B minor. And so if you have any question, comments, it's a live stream, so you can just leave it in the live chat and I'll try to answer them right away. Yeah, so let's start. I'll do a couple of sounds. Okay. So Aus Liebe will mein Heiland sterben. I would say I'll try it at 60. I listened to a version that I thought was nice and they did it around 58, 60, 56, like it moved a little bit. The accompaniment is mainly quarter notes under, that support the melody that the flute is playing. And the singer only gets in at A on the last beat of that bar, and for the rest, you're just you and the accompaniment, except 2 before A. You have one bar that you're completely by yourself doing a little, not a cadence, but a little solo there, really alone. Okay, I'll try it once with the metronome just to feel the beat. I think it's a bit running like that. I'll try it at 58. Sorry. Okay, I'll change a couple of things. In my version, there's a lot of legato. I think it lacks a little bit of if you slur everything, for me it might lack a little bit of definition at some point. Okay. So I'll start by 4. Here I slur by 2. And when you decide on something, write it down so that you know where you're going with that and you know what you're doing. Because sometimes we practice a lot, but it's not necessarily efficient. We're just repeating and repeating things without being aware of what we want, where we're going with that. Sometimes just put your flute down and decide on what you're gonna do, or take your flute, try things, So and here it's a C sharp. I'll just write it down because I forgot it the first time. When I forget something the first time, usually an accidental, I write it down right away so I don't go back and do the same mistake over and over again, because my brain has this tendency to go back to that first mistake that I've made. And I realized that I used to lose a lot of time by repeating the same mistakes. So I just write it down the first time and then it's done. There's no shame in writing something down in your music. Wait. Well. Okay, so I'll do ta 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 ha ta 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 ha. Okay. I tend to slur things that are I tend to slur notes that are next to each other, and when you have a jump, I tend to decide to detach it more, okay, especially like in Baroque music like that. So right now that's what I'm doing. So you don't have to decide right away, you know, maybe you want to play with it a little bit, listen to versions, see what different musicians do, what you like, what you're comfortable with, because it's also about what you're comfortable with, because if you're comfortable with something, when you're gonna play it, you're gonna be more like selling your thing, you know. When you believe in something, it's easier to express it well, so people might feel more in your world because you're bringing in them in something that you believe in, that you are comfortable with. So it's not just about if I tell you slur this, don't slur that, but you can check, you know, maybe not slurring everything because you might lose definition. And if you slur everything, like let's say here in the beginning, you have 1, 2, third bar. But if you do instead of you could do. So here you get two notes that are a bit more emphasized, that compared to da-da-da, or you could slur it by 2. You see, I had slurred it by 4, and now I realize, no, I'm going to slur it by 2. I like it like that. I like when you do a scale going down in Baroque music, I like to slur by 2. So that's what I'm going to do there. So all those scales going down, I'm going to slur them by 2. Yeah. When it's neighbor notes, you know. And when they're going up, I'm going to slur by 4. And when they're not next door, like when they're not one next to each other, I might mainly detach it. Except like one before A, when you have... That's fast. You don't want to go. I don't think so. No. Yeah. So something like that. So now I decided on that. Then you have to decide where you're going to breathe, especially in Bach. Very often breathing is, where to breathe is a big thing, and there's long phrases. And so usually for me in Bach, the big challenge is breathing, where to breathe. So I'm gonna play it and see where I could breathe there. Okay, so I took a breath. Second bar, you know, when you have E, D, and then I took a breath there before the B. Then you have a little rest 2 bars later after that A. I took a breath there. And then you always have that in the beginning of the bar, you have a note that's slurred from the last bar. You could shorten that one and you could breathe there every bar if you wanted to. I think I might have to. I'll see. I think it chops it a bit too much if I do it every time, so I'm gonna do every 2 bars at that spot at the beginning of the bar. But if you have to, you can take one each bar. But I think I'm gonna manage with one every 2 bars. So at 7 and at 8, and I should be fine. I'm gonna do that again with the metronome just to see if I'm not just going faster, so I don't have to breathe as much. Okay, at the end I was a bit out of breath, so I might take another one at 10 to be able to get to the end. Okay, so I should be fine. I'll have to change colors at some points. Also, you have those grace notes, okay? And they are appoggiature, you know, they're not part of the chord, so they bring tension. So you have to make them sound a bit louder than the note after, which is the resolution. Tension is always a bit more important. You know, you want to put it and then the resolution is a bit softer. So, and okay, so the first one at the first bar, the D and the E. So the D, that's a grace note. You should make it a 16th note. And when you have the next ones, every time you have one, no, you just have one, the E, you can make it an 8th note. So, so that's what it is. After that, you don't have other grace notes, but you still have, you have one, the bar, 2 bars after, the B, make it an 8th note too. Da ti da 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 yum da 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 da. So that, sorry, it's a bit out of tune, my singing. Okay, I think it's that for that. And it's da yum. The B is louder than the A, you know. Okay. What did I want to do now? Oh, maybe change a color. So when you start a new phrase after the, you know, on that note, that second note of the bar, usually you start a new phrase. Might try to change a color there. that fermata on the B, take your time, take a big breath there because you're alone. There's not even an accompaniment there for that whole bar. So you can go. And on that bar, the accompaniment starts again. Okay, so that's cool. Those are cadences that are important. Maybe finish it with a big sound, you know. But you see in the beginning, I come a bit discreetly. I feel like suffering on that note. Then I'm a bit softer. And here too, I'll go a bit softer on this one. And then you see I went a bit louder again. Here I want to take this space because I'm alone. I don't want to look shy, you know. Okay, so you see, when you have at 15 that long F, don't worry too much about it because there's singers, you know, discussing with you there. You know, there's a conversation. So they take back, and then it's your turn. You kind of exchange like that. Da, 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 da. Okay. That's nice like that. Try to write down where you're alone, that solo thing, then where the accompaniment starts again. So 2 before A, you can write solo. Then 1 before A on the first beat, you can write accompaniment. It starts again, you know. And then last beat of A, you can write singers because that's where they come in. And so maybe you won't take the same place if you're alone, if there's an accompaniment, if there's no accompaniment. And, you know, try to change the dynamics or the color of the sound, you know, the timbre, when you change the phrase. That's sometimes just like I did it. Is there any question, comments?
No, just about other stuff, but we'll talk about those later.
Okay, so should I play it one more time, or it's good I can go to the next, I think, huh? Yeah? Okay.
Good, yeah.
So I'll go to the Domine Deus. Oh, just to finish with that one, you know, you have sometimes 30-second notes, 16th notes. Be careful like that you don't misread in the beginning and learn the 30-second as 16th. And you can start, you know, if you're not comfortable with those types of rhythms, just start by singing the rhythm. Maybe put a metronome per 8th note, you know, and not too fast, and go tam ta ta da 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 da. You know, you don't even need to sing the melody, just the rhythm. And then you can play it very slowly too with that rhythm with the while you subdivide every note, you know. And you can even write little lines for where the beats are if visually it's not clear for you. Just putting, you know, seeing visually where the beats are can be very, very helpful if you have any trouble with the rhythm. Also, you can listen to versions, listen to a professional playing it, and read, and at the same time follow and tap the rhythm, you know, while you follow with your finger on the music. This way you'll see how it's organized rhythmically. So that's it for that. For anything you're learning, you know, subdividing, all that stuff, it's so helpful, you know. And when you have a lot of accidentals, be careful that you're reading properly, you're learning it properly the first time around. And if you do make a mistake, don't be shy to just write it down so you don't make that same mistake again. Okay, the next one, Domine Deus. Played it last winter with an orchestra, and I remember there too the breathing was something. I was like, maybe we could play it a bit faster. So I wrote 76. And the accompaniment is mainly in 8 notes. Pom 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 pom. Okay, and the singer gets in at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16, 17. 17. The singer gets in at 17. Singers, but one at a time. Okay, in the beginning. I'll play it once with a metronome at 76 just to see where I am. I'm already out of breath. Okay, let's see what I'm gonna do with that. Sometimes I like to add little things, but yeah, maybe I won't for today. So I took one between the two B's, and then I'll take one after the C sharp at 6, and after the G at 7. On the 4th beat, you know, between the G and the E. And then at 9, 2nd beat. I'll try that. I'll see where I get. Okay. Yeah, it's something for the... You have to take very quick ones just after that first note of the group of 4. And like, don't move the mouth, because if you start going like this, you're gonna be late, you know. You stay like that. You barely see it. It's like but it stays, the mask here stays exactly the same. So let's say it's 6. My mouth a little bit, but it's not much, you know, not too much movement, just enough so that the air comes in, but not too much so that you disturb here and then you're late on the next note. I think maybe I don't breathe enough there. Maybe I should breathe more so I have a little bit, so I don't feel out of breath and my sound doesn't sound out of breath, you know. So I'm gonna do on bar 7 second beat, and then 8 third beat. This way I get 1 extra breath. Then at 10 second beat, 11 second beat, 12 second beat. I have no choice there. 13 second beat. I'll see how it goes. And you know what I said about learning the notes, subdividing, all those things are still good, and you should still use that if you need it, you know. Okay. Okay, so I took one at 16 fourth beat. So in between there, I think I'll take one at 14 and one at 15. Or I could try just at 14 fourth beat. I'll try that and see where I get. You know, it's all a trial and error. So you do it and then you see if you get all the way there. If you don't, you have to find another solution. It all depends on your own breathing capacity and everything, and how you manage your air when you're playing. It's like a budget, you know, air in, air out. You have to make sure it balances and that you're going to get to the end of your phrase. And also, when you do that, try not to start just from too close to that breath that you're trying to evaluate, because you always have more air when it's your first breath. So maybe start from a bit before, so you're a bit out of breath when you get there, you know. So it's more realistic on your air management. So in that mindset, I'll start at bar 6. A bit out of breath, so what I'll do is I'll remove that and I'll take one at second beat of 14 and second beat of 15, and I think I should be okay. So now I chose my breaths. I'm gonna do it all over again and see you know, if it still works. Did you have a question? No? Good. Yeah, okay, let's try that. I'll put the metronome. Too bad. I think in the beginning I wasn't out of breath, so I didn't take enough, so then I got out of breath. You know, sometimes you have to be careful that you don't wait to take good breaths, because you can also have a little reserve, and it's fine. Okay, now for the phrasing. There's a lot of slurs by 2, so and also the accompaniment is all in 8 notes. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know exactly the notes, but it brings you like that. And so by slurring by 2, you kind of go with that, because when you slur 2 notes, usually the first note is a tiny bit louder than the second note, you know. That's ta ta ti ta yam. And you know, like in the second bar, when you have C B, that C is louder than that B, because the C is the note that's not in the chord, and that's resolving on the B. So you have this tension and then this release on the B. And you have that a lot, you know, at bar 5. And at 6. And 7. Every time you have that, or tension, release, tension, release. So think about that. Okay. And then I'll see what I can do with little sound things that could make it interesting. So you see, when you have at 10 and 11 those things, you can see it as crescendo. So you can start softly and then do a little crescendo there on that. It's a scale in third that goes up, you know. It's just a scale, and then piano and crescendo. It's not going to be a huge crescendo, but it's going to make it interesting. Usually, you know, follow the line. Goes up like a little bit louder, and then you follow that normal natural line. Yeah. He likes to do things 3 times, the third time going somewhere else, you know. So you see, you have da 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 da, and I think then the harpsichord or the whatever, like, goes da 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 da, the orchestra da 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 da. Then you do it again a third time, and then you go somewhere else. Da 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 da. And even that, you get... And you have the same motive, the same type of motive there. Again. Somewhere else. An arpeggio. Okay, and then when you have the piano at 17, it's because the singers come in and maybe you want to make them a little bit more space. Okay, I'll try one last time and I'll try to make it interesting with dynamics a little bit. So here I'll do like, when I do steps like at 4, 5, 6, maybe I'll go a bit softer each time. And then I'll go crescendo here. Then I'll go piano and then I'm 40 here and I'm gonna go back piano. Here I'm gonna stay loud. Okay, I'm gonna stay like that. And then and here I'll do a little decrescendo to get to piano to get the singers inside in. Okay, I'm gonna try that, see how it goes. Something like that. I would have to play it again to make it comfortable. And I have a little bit too much saliva today. I don't know if you can hear it there sometimes. It's a bit tough because you don't have much time to just swallow your saliva when you play that. You barely have enough time to breathe. So, yeah. And there's a lot of tia, 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 tia. So, what do you think? Good? Is there any question, comment?
No, I really liked it. Maybe you want to just, we have more questions, like we can add up.
Okay.
Maybe talk about other stuff.
Okay. So, well, maybe then if you're interested in taking lessons with me, you can email us at info@theflutechannel.com and we'll send you all the info. There's lessons online. It's very easy with, Skype or FaceTime. And it works very well. It's fun, and you don't have to take. You can take one lesson. You can take a little group of lessons, and we can schedule them, the way you want. So that is very cool. If you're interested in some of our merch, like that shirt that I'm wearing right now here, you can go on our store, and it's just in the description below. If you are looking for a flute, you can use our code TFC with the Flute Center of New York. And so when you use that code, it helps us out when you buy a flute with that code. And also it gets you a longer warranty and you can try more flutes. It's all in the description below again. And you can go on their website, which is flutes4sale.com, and you use our code. And yes, thank thanks for everyone who did use our code, because a lot of people have used it, and it's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Am I forgetting something?
Patreon.
We have a Patreon, and on our Patreon, you have different tiers with different perks. And if you're a Patreon member, you get for as little as $2 a month, I think, you get access to our live podcast, the live version. If you're not a member, you can listen to it after, but you get the live version, and you get to ask live questions and all that stuff. And it helps us out tremendously. So thank you to all our patrons. Thank you so much, because we're working hard here, and it's very nice of you to help. So
Leo wants to know, if you play that piece alone, would you do a ritardando at the end?
When you have
At the end of the
yeah, maybe. Plus, like, I think anyways that if you have a good conductor, you should follow it a little bit, even if you play with someone else, or if you play with piano, even easier, because I don't think the accompaniment is that complicated there. So there's room for a little bit of rubato. Not too much, like it's not romantic music, but it's still music. Like they didn't use metronome back then. Metronomes didn't exist back then. So it's all about there's space for that. Maybe I didn't do it that much in this practicing session, but totally you can have little changes and listen to different versions, and you'll hear what they do, and maybe it's gonna give you ideas as well.
Pedro wants to know, how do you trill from B to C sharp easily?
How do you trill from B to C sharp? I think you have to do like this, huh?
Yeah, the C sharp trill. The B flat lever, the lever at the top there.
No, C to, like, you really have to do the two fingers.
Yeah, you have to do that.
You have to wish that it's not a long trill.
They do have a C sharp trill key. They can.
Some flutes have a C sharp trill key. Mine doesn't.
No.
So when I have a C sharp trill key, C sharp trill, I just have to keep my fingers close and go as fast as I can, but make sure that it's coordinated between the two fingers. Yeah, that's a tricky one. But if you have a flute that, like, maybe if I bought a new flute, I would get that. That's pretty cool to have. Yeah, but if you don't, just make sure you're keeping it close. And sometimes it's not just the speed of the trill. Like if you can't do it super fast, but maybe you accelerate on it, or with trills very often it's where you end it. It's the ending of the trill that makes it sound weird. So maybe don't worry too much about the speed of it, but more about giving it some shape and ending it properly. Because sometimes if you have a let's say, you start it slowly, so at the end it sounds faster, and then you just end it at the right spot. It still sounds okay. Something like that. Good? Any other question?
Nope. No, not really. Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's all good.
Do people like those pieces?
Yeah,
Do they want to play
Bach.
it?
Yeah, people like Bach.
Cool. They're so beautiful. Yeah.
And usually the last one they played it in the holidays usually.
Yeah, I played it at a Christmas concert last winter with a very nice choir and very nice orchestra. But yeah, and it was fun. And when you play it in a church, it usually sounds pretty good for the flute because it resonates a lot. So yeah, but it's all about breathing, and yeah, that's it for that. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you didn't subscribe yet, please subscribe. If you haven't If you have any questions, comments, just leave them below. If you like the video, please like it, and see you next time. Thanks for watching.